Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in to another VGR webisode. This is part 3 of Skyrim. We're going to be getting into the gameplay and the first set of quests in this little series here. So we're just going to start off right where we left off, leaving Helgen Keep, going into Skyrim. And I'm going to try my best to fast forward through all of the walking, running around, and useless stuff and get right to the juicy bits here. So, let's get into this. And if you recall from where we last left off in the previous video, I just got through some of the quick combat sequences, as well as getting through all the skill sets, casting, wielding a weapon while casting. In this one, I think I'm just going to stick to the typical shield and sword build, and let's see if we can get into the good bits here.
Wait.
And there goes Alduin. Spoiler, by the way. Well, semi-spoiler. Okay, so I guess I'm following the Imperials this time
Looks like
around.
it's gone for good this time.
But I'm gonna skip listening to what he has to say and just make it all the way down to Riverwood. So we're gonna fast forward through these parts and get right to the city. But I'm gonna stop at some very handy landmarks, such as the skill stones. That, depending on how you want to play the game, these things will prove pretty useful, considering they give you a small boost in the 3 basic classes, and then there are other ones scattered all over Skyrim that you're gonna have to look for. So, I believe there's going to be some wolves up ahead, so I'm just going to get into my inventory here and put on my shield. Probably one of the coolest, most useful abilities in this is favoriting weapons, which, for those of you that don't know what it is, when you favorite a weapon or a spell or a certain shield of any kind, you'll actually be able to go into something, say like your magic, go into your destruction, and for the PlayStation 3 users, you're gonna tap triangle, and it's gonna favorite your certain spell, and you're gonna get a little bit quicker access rather than going into this little screen that opens up with your items and your magic. You actually just press up on the D-pad, and as you can see, we have our flames ability, our healing, and our iron shield. So I'm probably gonna favorite my weapon for now. There we go. And I can favorite my iron mace and equip that, and it still counts for my one-handed weapon skill. So let's make it to the stone, or the set of stones. So here they are up ahead. Once you get to these stones, you have an option. So I believe this one here is your caster mage stone. This will increase your skill set leveling by, I believe it was 20%. Same thing with the warrior stone and the thief stone. So depending on which class you want to stick with, and you can always fast travel back here just by going to your map and selecting a certain area, such as Helgen. You can fast travel, and any other area, as long as you've discovered it, you can always fast travel to. So I'm gonna go with the warrior stone, and as you can see here, those under the sign of the warrior will learn all combat skills 20% faster, and you can only carry 1 blessing at a time, so you'll accept it, and this cool little cinematic will take place. Well, now you've been imbued with the ability to level up 20% faster in your warrior set. So we're gonna make our way to Riverwood from here. I'm gonna fast forward through this part. And here we are in Riverwood. Oops. Oh well. Oh, that's right. For those of you that are following the Stormcloaks, you're going to be talking to a woman across the river. And for those of you following the Imperials, you'll be talking to the blacksmith here. Here, Alvar.
Ain't every day we get visitors in Riverwood. Hadvar? How do you know him? I'd be glad to help a friend of Hadvar, but you didn't answer my... What? That explains what I saw earlier, flying down the valley from the south. I was hoping I was wrong about what I... You're right. I saw... a dragon. The Jarl need... We need to get word to Jarl Baldur.
So now you've been given a quest to go to Whiterun and speak to the Jarl there. But an interesting little tidbit here is, I believe it's either here or it's in Whiterun. You can level up your blacksmithing skill by, I think, selecting need any help around the forge.
Yes.
So he's going to give you some pieces to work with, and you're going to make your way down here and start your first set of skill training in blacksmithing. So you go down to iron, and we select the iron dagger. You're going to create that. And you only need one, really, and you're going to take it back to him, and he's going to get you to do a small set of
what you need, my friend.
Little upgrades on the dagger, and I believe making a helm, and you're gonna upgrade it, and just keep following what he says, and your blacksmithing will level up a bit. And that should inevitably level you up a bit. I'm not sure if he asked me to do it yet, but try this.
Hadvar. Thank Talos. Friend told me about Helga. Come on inside.
Okay, well apparently he didn't give me the quest.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend.
Okay, so it's not him, it's gonna be the blacksmith woman in Riverwood. Now, you can always follow them inside, or you can just make your way all the way to Whiterun. But before you head out, you're gonna turn into the shop, I believe, is right here. And you're gonna accept your first quest that's gonna take you into a dungeon. And the man in here, or the supply trader here, is gonna give you a quest to look for his golden claw.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I ask him, did something happen?
Yeah.
And he tells you about the gold claw.
Ornament. Solid gold.
So, you say you'll help him, and you have a second quest that you've just been given.
It's yours if you bring my claw back.
The golden claw.
Now, if you're going to get those thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow.
So for those of you that are thieves, one of the most interesting traits here is you can pick stuff up
Put that down.
in the game just by holding your X button or whatever your action button is, and you take it upstairs, drop it, and you'll be able to steal certain items. So for those of you that decided to pick the thieves path, this is probably the best bet for you to steal certain items without getting caught. But anyway, we're gonna get back into the game, and we're gonna head out to Whiterun. So I'm gonna fast forward through this part 2, make my way up to Whiterun, speak to the Jarl, and afterwards we're gonna start off our first set of quests in the area. So we're just gonna fast forward from here. right now we are located at the farms here in Whiterun, and as you'll see, there's going to be an ogre right up ahead, and these guys are going to take him down. Now this team here are the companions, so you'll speak to Farkas and ask him, can I join the companions, and he'll tell you to go to the leader of the companions, which
talk to him. It's out of my hands.
once you make it inside, you're going to go to your Vaskir, and we can start the quest line for the companions, which will help you level up, and inevitably give you an amazing and useful ability, which is lycanthropy.
We show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Not for me to. The old man.
Okay, so we're talking to her.
Good luck.
Until next time.
So here we are at Whiterun Castle.
Official business only.
Now this is also a good way to increase your speechcraft, is using persuasion on guards and various people who have the option for persuasion. That's going to let you increase your speechcraft, which, as I mentioned in the last, I believe it was the first video that I mentioned, that if your speechcraft is not proficient enough for you to make enough gold selling certain items and weaponry, you might have an issue with trying to get the most bang for your buck. So that being said, the more you use your persuasion skill, the more your speechcraft increases, and the more of an option you have to make the needed amount of gold rather than the haggled down amount of gold that the traders and the various sellers here have to offer in the beginning.
Would never make steel for the Legion.
Okay.
Have it. You got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside.
So I believe it's this woman that can help
Don't
you
forget to check.
increase your
I don't claim to be the
blacksmithing.
best blacksmith in Whiterun. Yorland Greymane's got that honor. Man steals.
But apparently she doesn't want to help you with that
All
right
I
now.
ask is a fair chance. Have you met? I help my father
Okay, that's
in more
fine.
ways than
So we're gonna make our way up to the Jarl and have our first few words with him. Now keep in mind, after you talk to the Jarl, you can talk to just about anybody in the city, and I mean, 4 out of 5 people will generally have a certain quest for you that you can choose to accept or choose to ignore. The more quests you do, the more you level up, as you have to train your skills anyway, and generally, the more you level up, the more you can get through certain dungeons, certain mobs, such as the giants that we just witnessed getting killed. I mean, you name it. The more you level up, the easier the combat becomes for you. So try to accept as many quests as you can, because once you get to the last boss battle, it's gonna be a real pain in the butt if you're still like level 20 something and this guy's just taking you down without even breaking a sweat.
My lord,
What's
please.
the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balbrook is not receiving.
I'm not here to talk to you, lady.
As House Carl, my job is to deal with all dangers that threaten the. Whatever you have to say, I'm starting to think.
Want to hear what he has to say.
Okay.
What's this about Riverwood being in danger?
Sure, you're gonna have a quick talk with him,
And you're sure Helgen was destroyed?
and
But it's none of my concern who the Imperials were.
he's gonna get you to talk to
What
one of
do you
the
say now?
mages that worked for him
Shall
in the
we
castle.
continue to trust in the
So once you
strength
talk to
of
the
our
mage,
walls?
this is a perfect opportunity for you casters to
We should send troops to
talk to
Riverwood.
him about going
The
to,
most immediate danger.
I believe it was the College of Winterhold, And once you make it to the College of Winterhold, you're gonna inevitably train to learn certain spells. You're gonna increase your destruction, alteration, what have you, very quickly. And you'll also be able to buy certain robes, certain stabs, books, and you'll be able to train in your destruction, alteration, illusion, or restoration spells through the help of the various students there and teachers.
You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my...
And our first set of steel armor.
Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
Okay. Got a little bored there listening to them. So, I'm gonna equip my first set of steel armor here. And this is kind of a good time to sell some useless items. So I'm gonna sell some weapons and some gear to this guy after I'm done talking to him.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of... What? Project? You think you could help me? What? I never even cast it. Please forgive my earlier rudeness. I'm so often interrupted by visitors wandering in. Now, what did you say you wanted? Yes.
Okay.
Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into... Straight to the point.
So now you're gonna start the Dragonstone quest.
Said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow. Find this tablet, no doubt interred in the
And
chamber.
we're gonna sell some useless stuff right now.
For a mage. I think you'll appreciate this.
We're gonna sell the foot wraps, even though they're worth nothing. And as you can see, this was worth about 305 gold. And what I mentioned about Speechcraft, kind of hits pretty hard when you haven't leveled it up, because I just lost about 200 and some odd gold worth of extra cash that I could have gotten for it. Same thing with the novice robes that were worth like 100 and some odd gold. And unfortunately, I'm not going to make as much as I thought I would, but that's okay. And like I said, for those of you casters, this is a good time to check out things like the novice hoods here, the novice robes, and you have slightly more specific robes that you can get, such as the robe of alteration, which either the robe of alteration, illusion, or restoration will decrease by 12% the amount of magicka it takes for you to cast the certain spells, as well as regenerating magicka 50% faster. So it could be quite beneficial for you casters out there who decided to take on that that certain path. You also have the ability to purchase spell tomes here. One that comes in handy, whether you're a spellcaster or not, is Candlelight. So I'm actually going to purchase this one. And as you can see, you have a good variety of spells here. So generally what you're looking at is the book itself. Right on the cover will tell you what kind of spells these are. So you have spells such as destruction spells, you have alteration spells, or I believe these are illusion spells, you have your healing spells, your conjuration spells, and I don't know if I can find the alteration spells, or maybe I'm naming them the wrong way. I believe, yeah, these are the alteration spells, the half-dead tree. So anyway, you have quite a few options here. If you did somehow manage to make enough money, by all means buy it. I don't think anyone has gotten to that point yet, so we're just going to get right to the quest line.
Off to Bleak Falls
Farengar.
And we're going to access the extra quest here. Oh, so he did give me the quest. Oh well. So we're gonna just keep with the main quest lines. And I'm actually gonna sell some of these weapons here to the other trader up front, but I'm gonna fast forward through that bit and just collect a little bit of extra gold. So like I said, these battle axes that were worth 55 gold end up coming down all the way to 18 gold. So kind of something to keep in mind, especially when you're picking up items at this early stage. You're not trained enough to really make enough money for all of these. That's why it's better to pick up as many as you can and sell them to increase your speechcraft. I don't know if it's going to work this time around, but let's see. No, apparently it doesn't want to work. Sell some wine? No. Anything. Alright, well, I guess that didn't work this time, but like I said, the more you sell, the more your speech increases, and eventually your speech will level up, and you'll be able to put in some perks and points into being able to make at least 10% more for what you're selling, and eventually you'll be able to level up to 20, and then 30, and then a whole mess of cool abilities that come into your speech. So again, we're gonna fast forward from here and try and make our way to Bleak Falls Barrow. And the best part is that we can get 2 quests done at once, which proves quite handy, because you'll find that is usually the same thing in every quest line that you work through. You end up finishing about 2 or 3 quests in one area, and that comes in handy trying to gain experience and some cool weapons. But again, that's another thing to keep in mind, is the more junk you have in your inventory, you're going to want to sell it as quickly as you can, because you really don't want to exceed your carrying capacity unless you want to walk around as slow as possible. A lesson I had to learn quite a few too many times, and apparently I still don't get it, because I usually overstack anyway, but that's okay. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to get through the mountainside, because again, I kind of learn a little slowly, and I don't take the paths that I'm supposed to, so I just glitch run up the mountainsides and try to get to the area as fast as I can. Okay, so here we are at Bleak Falls Barrow. As you can see, I kind of stopped to kill some bandits so I could pick up a hunting bow and some arrows from them. And we're gonna take on these guys here quickly, and I'm just playing in third-person view. I don't know why, but this is so much more fun. For me, at least. Go back into our regular view here. And boom. So, as you can kind of tell, arrows won't weigh you down. They actually weigh nothing. So they're there, but they're not there. So something to keep in mind is if you need to attack somebody from a distance, you probably want to pick up a bow and arrows. The bow itself will weigh you down just a tiny little bit. I think this one was like 6 pounds or something of the sort. 5 or 6 pounds, and mine is 7. Okay, so not too bad. Oops, there we go. So we're gonna make our way into Bleak Falls Barrow, and we're actually gonna get right into the first set of killings that we're gonna take down some skeletons and our first Druger and a couple of bandits right at the beginning. So let's get in there. Alright, so here we are. Actually, these are some that we're going to run into in this area as well. The skeever rats. And kind of a pain in the butt to kill. But there are also some mobs that we have to deal with in here.
What was that?
It was me. So, grab some of that. And we're going to take these guys down. So as you can see, generally if somebody's up on a tower with a bow and arrow, it's usually good to keep one handy, but unfortunately the arrows are worth pretty much nothing, so... Oh. No. Oh. Oh, no, okay. No, that was a close one. Pretty much nothing in there anyway. These are also an alternate thing to keep in mind are burial urns. 9 times out of 10 there's something in them, and usually it's potions and gold and rings and whatever you really can sell for quite a bit of gold. You'll usually find it in there. I know I found rubies and golden necklaces and all that jazz, so another thing to keep in mind is to check every burial urn. So nothing here. So I think around this area is our first set of puzzles that we're going to run into. So if you keep an eye up here and just down here, you'll see that the puzzle pieces have dire consequences if you don't set them up right. So if you notice here, your first set is going to be snake, snake, dolphin. So you just go up to these stones and you turn them in the proper order. So you got snake, snake, and dolphin. And if you did it right, you won't end up like this bandit here. So let's see. And we were right. Alright, I'm gonna check up here quickly and see if there's anything for me. And there's a potion. Ah, yes. The thief books. And we level up for the first time too. Go figure. Empty. So I'm going to go into my skill set before I go down there. And as you level up, you'll have the ability to choose Magicka, Health, or Stamina. These points that you put into Health and Stamina generally are more for the Warrior and Thief classes, and the more points you put into Magicka and Health, obviously becomes the latter, which is your typical caster class, or your wielding caster class, which is a caster with a sword or dagger of some sort. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the points into Health for now, and I'm going to grab my first ability in the skill set of one-handed weapons, and we're going to choose one-handed weapons do 20 more damage. But depending on your playstyle, of course you have your two-handed weapons here, do 20 more damage. You can increase your shield, your heavy armor, which I believe, same thing, increases by 20%, and so on. So the more you level up, the more skills that you'll have to level. But one other thing to keep in mind is, as you level up, your skills, well, your skill requirements for something like Bonebreaker requires your skill set to be at 30 levels, or here, 50 levels. And of course, the ability that we just picked, Armsman, the next time you'll be able to level it up will either be at level 20, and then I believe it goes to 30, and 40, and 50. So it's going to be like that for all of your skill sets. And our first skeevers here. Oh, a couple of them. Ready around this area, because you're going to come across one really huge ass spider. So I'm going to grab the frostbite venom that we had before. I'm going to apply it to my weapon, try and take her down as quickly as I can. Oh boy. Got her. And more frostbite venom, of course. So, I'm gonna grab some stuff out of these urns if they have anything. Generally you can check the eggs, but kind of useless. They only have spider eggs in them, and they're just a waste of space to have in your inventory, so I don't really bother eluding them at the moment. But you're gonna talk to this guy, and just giving you a warning beforehand, kill him the second you let him loose, because he will run and he will try and kill you.
Yes, help me down and I'll show you. You won't believe the power. Sweet breath of arcade, thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna cut him down, and I'm just gonna attack him immediately. Now that he's dead, we're gonna search him, and look at that, the golden claw. And a journal. Now you can always loot the items here. I'll grab the most expensive valued items, but there's going to be way more expensive stuff as we get through this area. So, empty, 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 and gold. Empty. Ah, and here we go. First silver ring in one of these bad boys. Empty. Soul gems are going to prove very useful, especially when you're enchanting your weapons. Later on, I believe in this dungeon, you'll come across some Druger, and I think the first ones we run into are right here. They're gonna come out of their coffins. So some of them have an enchantment on their weapons, and you can actually take them to the mage that we saw, and there was that big blue glowing pedestal which will help you disenchant them, which will inevitably destroy the enchantment. You can use a soul gem to enchant any of your favorite weapons, and they do drop quite a bit of useful items, such as the war axe, which I could equip. And Lord Battle Axe, we'll grab the gold instead. And we'll grab the gold instead of that. And keep a watchful eye out for these traps. If you step on them, well, you'll end up like a waffle and get flung against a wall, so try to keep that in mind. I've ran into them one too many times. And never be fooled by laying corpses wearing suits, because chances are they'll get up again. And another thing you can do if you have the time for it is check other dead Druger body. Like these ones, the mummified ones usually have gold and battle axes in them. You can always grab some useful stuff from them. And, oh. These ones too will generally have some type of gold, rubies, garnets, whatever, in their... I don't know if they have pockets. I guess somewhere on their corpse they have these gems and whatnot located. And another thing, again, you can keep taking arrows, it doesn't matter how many you grab. You'll always be able to carry a ton of them. No need for those. I think there's another one. No. And of course the traps, just takes perfect timing. Deactivate it. Zombies and creatures generally hate fire, so it's a good way to take them down quickly. Just don't do it how I did it. Ah, yes. And of course, always look for hidden entrances in these places, because there's usually another way to get around. Ah, here it is. Scroll of Fireball. Okay. These scrolls Oh, apparently I leveled up again. Okay, well, we're gonna get to this. Scrolls are very handy, especially if you can find some good ones, depending on the dungeon and area you're in. These scrolls will help you take down, generally, majority of the mobs that you face in these places, and all you have to do is equip them, and it's the same thing as being a caster, except with more bang for your buck. But of course, when you use it up, that's it. It's gone. So use it wisely, and try not to spend too much time deciding when to use it. Just know you can if you ever need to. Got some gold. And like I said, your favorites inventory is probably the most handy thing that you have right now. Makes it quick access to equip shields and weapons and spells without having to go through the selection screen. Alright, so we're about halfway through this instance. We're just going to make it in here very quickly, and I'm just going to do a quick run and get to the juicy bits through this part too. And I'm going to level up my skills, just so I make this a little bit easier for myself. Although it's been pretty easy. Okay, here we are. So this part I'm just going to explain very carefully. You have 3 sets of rings that you're going to choose and select the proper order of these. And if you're scratching your head wondering, well, how the hell do you do that? I'm about to show you. So you're going to go into your items, and once you get there, go down to your keys, or sorry, your miscellaneous, and find the golden claw. Now, if you can see it properly, on the golden claw are 3 rings. So you're going to look at them very carefully. I don't know if it's random, or if it's generic, or if they appear, you know, in this order in every single version of the game. But right now it says bear, dragonfly, and owl. So we're going to set this up. And we're going to activate it, and if it's right, this is the scene that you'll get, and the cool door drops, and you still have the golden claw in your inventory. So again, I'm going to fast forward after this drops, and we're going to get to the good stuff afterwards. Okay, so here we are. This is going to be your first shout. So just walk up to the wall, cool cinematic, and you get your first shout ability. And turn around real quick, because someone's about to pop out of their box. And our first overlord. So you're gonna loot them, and like I said, your first enchanted weapon is gonna be right here. So target takes 5 points of frost damage to health and stamina. You're gonna either loot it or equip it, grab the gold, grab the quest item you were looking for, and loot whatever you can. We have our chest here. I think we already have this, so I could probably sell it. And we have the iron helm. And just get ready to exit the area. There's going to be an exit up here. Activate your handle. And there we are. That is the first quest. It's totally done. All that's left is running back to Dragon's Reach and Whiterun and handing that in. And while you're on your way there, you can either fast travel or you can fast travel to Riverwood first and hand in the Golden Claw quest. We're going to cover that in the next video, and I'm going to start up with capturing dragon souls as well as learning your first shout. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys tune in soon. Don't be afraid to rate, subscribe, and like the videos, and stay informed. Alright, we'll see you next time for part 4 of Skyrim.